Plans to house 400 migrants in a former hotel have been met with outrage by residents of a nearby village. Why? Well, because actually there's only 500 people in the village, so you're basically doubling the population of that village in Creaton now. And by the way, it was a 16th century manor house, the Highgate House. It's rather lovely. Some of the pictures of the rooms which we've been showing you are fantastic. I mean, it's nicer than where I live. Is it? Although that is a low bar. Joining me now is GBNews presenter Nigel Farage. Nigel, thank you very much. There you are. Good stuff. Well, we'll preview what you've got coming up on your show. But, I mean, this is just ridiculous. It's going to be an entire village now. The demographics of it changed irreversibly, one would imagine. And there's nothing for these people to do all day either, is there? Your views?
Well, you know, this is the first really high-profile, lovely rural location like this we've seen. The answer is very simple, Patrick. There are 140,000 people who've entered this country and are claiming asylum that haven't yet been processed. We have to house them somewhere, apparently. And they've run out of inner-city hotels to put them in. They've tried former army camps, but those conditions there simply aren't good enough. No, what was good enough for national servicemen or serving British soldiers, not good enough for the young men crossing the English Channel. And so here we are. And now it's arriving in the backyard of the Conservative Party. We have Sir Graham Brady, a hotel in Hale, in his constituency. Today it's Creaton with Chris Heaton-Harris. Last week it was David Davis's constituency. And given that the estimates are that somewhere between 50 and 100,000 people will cross the English Channel this year, unless the PM has the guts to act, one of these sites is coming to a hotel near you very soon.
So, Nigel, can I just ask you, just to play devil's advocate here, you know, if you're a villager somewhere in Creaton, right, why should I care? This is a hotel, it looks relatively rural, it looks like it's quite isolated, you know. All right, there's only 500 of us in the village. We probably know it quite well. It's all quaint and quiet. Oh, what could possibly go wrong with 400 asylum seekers being plonked onto my doorstep, Nigel?
I tell you what, if 400 young males from any background at all, turned up on your doorstep, I suggest you would be concerned, especially if it was somewhere without facilities. And, you know, what are people going to do all day long? Well, they're going to loiter. They're going to loiter. And people will begin to feel intimidated by it. Plus, it will change the whole nature of the village. But you know what? Every single time one of these sites is proposed, the local MP always says this area is wholly unsuitable. Well, get used to it, folks. All the while we have a Conservative government, this is our future. Not that I'm suggesting Labour would make any difference.
No, they wouldn't at all. Nigel, look, thank you very much. You're going to be on a little bit later on. Obviously, you're already in the studio there. What have you got coming up? Quick preview for us?
Well, we're going to discuss clearly what's happening in Creaton, because there is a big public meeting beginning at 7 o'clock tonight, so we'll go live to Paul Hawkins, our reporter, who is there. We'll talk about Cottingham, where some halls of residence at Hull University now are not going to be sold to one of the companies housing asylum seekers. And I'll be joined by David Davis, veteran Conservative Member of Parliament. I'll ask him simply, if we believe in border controls, if we voted Brexit to take back control, why the hell should we vote for anyone like you ever again?